Alright guys, today I want to show you a game which is called the game of the century, of the 20th century obviously, between Robert James Fischer and Donald Byrne. Byrne has been US champion and participated in 3 chess Olympiads, so he's a formidable player. And Robert James Fischer is considered one of the best chess players in the world. So at the time of the game, Fischer was only 13 years old and he played black. I decided to show it from white perspective because it kind of makes more impact on you when you watch it from the white point of view. So okay, Byrne played knight f3. When you're playing a younger chess player, you know that you can trick him with the opening, because in the main lines they are better prepared, but in this knight f3, red c or English opening, so you can trick them into some good position. Fischer played knight f6, so c4. This is English opening, and he switches to d4, queen's pawn opening. Castles. Now if white plays e4, then it is king's Indian defense, main position. So he played bishop f4, again trying to keep away from the main lines. Fischer played d5, and this is his trademark opening, Grunfeld defense. He played it a lot, as well as king's Indian defense, because one of his features was playing for win for black. Otherwise he would never have these terrific results as in some candidates, like winning 6 out of 6, or US championships, winning all like 9 games. So this is only Fischer could do it. Alright, queen b3. This is move similar to Russian variation of Grunfeld, but with bishop on f4, which rarely goes that early in the game. So he took back, c6, while taking control of d5 and protecting c7, which was attacked twice. So he played e4, taking the center and preparing bishop to e2, and be d7. The position of black is a little bit too passive, because they haven't traded pieces yet, and they, let's say in this position I would consider bishop g4 first, because you want to trade at least one piece, so that you don't suffer from the space advantage of white so much. Alright, but Fischer played knight b to d7, rook d1, not in a hurry to castle, knight b6, queen c5, he wants at some point to attack the e7 pawn, bishop to g4, as was explained earlier. And in this position white is a little bit better, and the best move was just bishop to e2, preparing castling. And in this position Byrne played bishop to g5. Now he attacks this knight, and he attacks this e7 pawn. And this is a losing move, which you have a little bit of time to check what did Fischer play. And Fischer played knight to a4. This is really a nice move. So he finds out that this king is in the center, that this pawn is weak, and if white takes this pawn on e7, then he can win back this bishop with rook to e8, because all the pawns from the e file will be removed. He shows really good tactical sense. he went back with queen because it was attacked. If let's say knight takes the e4, so then knight takes here, attacking the queen, queen c2, attacking the knight, bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3, and knight takes g5. So this position is totally winning for black. They have extra pawn. These all pawns are weak. They will win another pawn, and the king is weak. So this is like totally winning for black. So he decided not to take the knight and played queen back, attacking the knight. So he took the knight himself, pawn takes, and knight e4. Now Fischer just won a pawn, but he left this pawn unattacked. Also, again, this is a threat to take the knight on f3 and take the bishop. So Byrne take on e7 and queen b6. So there is lots of threats here, and one of the threats is to attack the king. So let's say if white takes this rook here, then bishop takes, attacking the queen, queen b3, knight takes c3, attacking the rook. If let's say queen takes the rook, the knight, then bishop to b4, winning the queen. And if white takes the queen, takes, rook c1, then it appears that this king is under so much pressure that he is definitely losing. So takes, for instance, you go back, bishop b4 here, and let's say knight to c3. So all these maneuvers are very easy to make because there is no defense. No one is defending the king here. This bishop also, like with the x-ray, attacks the king. All right. So in this position, Byrne played bishop to c4, preparing castling as soon as possible. So in the another move, knight takes c3, attacking the rook. Let's say if queen takes c3, then rook a to e8. And again, if white castles, then black wins the bishop, and this position is again absolutely winning for black. So after knight takes c3, he played an intermezzo move, bishop to c5, attacking the queen. Rook f to e8, checking the king, king to f1, and in this position Fischer played the move of the game. So if you can spot it. Alright, so Fischer played bishop to e6, so his queen is attacked, but he noticed that the white's king is extremely vulnerable. Let's say if white doesn't want to take this queen first, so if they take the knight, then they have this powerful bishop, queen takes c5, and if white takes the queen, then again black is pawn up, and they have two bishops, and this king is very weak, so they have open file. So this is totally winning so you cannot just not accept this queen sacrifice. So so in this position, Byrne took the queen, and Fischer gave check. Notice that he cannot go to e1 because rook is controlling this. So essentially he is attacking with minor pieces, and so creates lots of threats. So this is the only move. Not only, but okay, rook d3 is not a move, of course. King to g1, and Fischer plays knight e2. So this is some kind of treadmill threat, yeah, when your pieces, you can take a lot of pieces while giving all the checks. So this is called in chess treadmill. So he took one pawn, gives another check, knight c3, and takes the bishop, and he unleashes this rook on a8, attacking the queen. Queen cannot take the knight because it is protected, so he needs to do something else. If he goes, let's say, queen to c1, then knight to e2 check and winning the queen. Because the other problem for white is that this rook is attacked. So he plays queen to b4. Fischer plays rook to a4, not giving up this bishop just yet, because he wants to take the rook and leave this powerful light square bishop. So he takes the pawn. He has no other place to go. Let's say b2 is not possible, because then it will be discovery for knight to e2. And Fischer took the rook finally. So just pay attention to this rook here. The only piece is playing is queen. This knight is kind of developed, but it is totally cut off with this bishop, and knight cannot play when it doesn't have any protected squares. Yeah, you need to have an outpost for your knight to play. So he played h3 because he has back rank issues. Took the pawn, and this is already winning. So they just wait for see the last moves. He exchanged the last rook, took the rook. And the position is totally winning. Black is actually has material advantage. For the queen, they have rook and two minor pieces, as well as 3 pawns. So this is more than enough to win comfortably. And Byrne gave the opportunity to mate himself. So he's taking away any counterplay for white with the h5, and also he prepares to move the king up and free the bishop. So check. If king to h2, for instance, then bishop to d6, winning the this knight on e5. Check, check, check. King cannot go back because e1 is protected. Check, check, and mate. All right, thank you very much, and see you next time.